spiritual, and metaphysical and ecological information delivered to us. Not only do we get the healings and the predictions and the coming changes, nobody's stopping to ask, now wait a minute, what did that have to do with the crossbreeding program? And the spiritual side's not saying, now wait a minute, what is it, where is it in the Bible that it says angels do rectal probes on children? See, somebody's not using their logic, and somebody's working real hard to keep us from being logical about this. And I'm going to talk about why this is the way we're responding. We have been programmed to such a degree that it is really and truly not funny. And I tell you, even though these things are going on and the reports are valid, that you're getting people who are telling you the honest truth about what's going on with them, we still don't have anything to really account for or legitimize or excuse or justify the physical and emotional procedures that are traumatic, illness-producing, personality-degenerating, and sometimes lethal in their after-effects on us fortunate chosen abductees. For instance, one of the most common sets of problems, and I could give you statistics, but who cares? I'll just tell you what the statistics tell us. That kidney problems, back problems, headache problems, nausea, unexplained rashes, hair loss, eye damage, and extremely bad gynecological problems are the common results in many cases of the abduction scenario. Sounds like that crossbreeding program's running into trouble. And to get that spiritual vibration up to the next density, you got to lose your uterus, sweetie. There's some problems we better start thinking about. I'm being funny, but I don't feel funny. I'm telling you now, you have to start thinking. You have to wake up. Somebody get that person back there. I see him asleep. And not only have there been illnesses following this and traumatic breakdowns, there have been illnesses no one to this day in the medical community has been able to explain. And I may call Ms. Barkley up here to witness on some of these. We have some cancers, or alleged cancers, only 3 months after abductions on a particularly healthy man that could never be explained. The best medical specialist in the country said, this is so rare we haven't even seen a handful of cases in all the history of recorded medical science. And by the way, what's that blue stuff and those scooped out marks on his legs? And he's dead, by the way, when they're doing this autopsy. And this is 3 months after a wonderful abduction experience at his house. We have another case in South Arkansas where an entire family, a mom, a dad, their grown child, and her husband are abducted, where there's a big flat going on. There was sightings so numerous that the camera crews from the TV stations used to come out and shoot them because they were showing up on schedule. Had an abduction for the entire family, and afterwards, in this area where many abductions were going on, one of the women who had been abducted began to have her breasts rot off. Rot off. From no known explanation. No doctor could stop nor could identify, and I believe there were 20 surgeries at last count to try to repair the damage. And these are just a couple of examples of the fortunate after effects of us chosen experiencers. And there have been deaths. There have been deaths that have been predicted and threatened to abductees by the aliens as a means of coercion, and those deaths occurred. And they occurred exactly as the aliens said they would occur. And this can be verified in private for anyone who does not think this is true. The people who are involved in this will not let themselves be identified because they still have other people living who are under threat. Those are the cases nobody wants to hear about, and certainly nobody wants to talk about. And before you start believing everything your abductees are telling you, you might want to talk to the survivors of some of these cases. And other detrimental effects, that, such as Barbara talked about earlier today, include severe depression, very strong symptoms of post-traumatic stress, just like any rape or war victim experiences, attempted suicides, and successful ones as well among abductees, in fact among some fairly well-known ones in the last couple of years. In fact, one in Louisiana this spring that was filmed by the TV crew in the town because the man was jumping off a bridge, claiming an extraordinary set of family circumstances. His wife was going to leave him. The aliens had been abducting these people for several years, and they weren't that upset about it until he's on the bridge to kill himself, and he does, on camera. And the thing is, there were no problems in his marriage. His wife had one baby and another on the way, and they were happy. And here he is claiming my wife's going to leave me, my marriage is over, I'm jumping off the bridge, and he's gone. And that's just one of the suicides just this last year among abductees. Sexual dysfunction is highly common among abductees. Degenerative and self-destructive behavior, such as Barbara talked about with the drug abuse, the alcoholism, the promiscuity, the tendency toward violent and self-violent action.